Thank you for tuning in to Hard News TV4. I'm your host, Terri Lynn, and this is the channel where truth is like archaeology, and every day we're digging for it. Today is September 24th, 2020, and this is my top 10 for today. Now, I'm showing this article that was in my top 10 yesterday because I'm going to build on this article for a new article that I found. So yesterday, this article, they've updated it from today. In unprecedented monetary overhaul, the Federal Reserve is preparing to deposit digital dollars directly to each American. Now, the first part of this article is all economics, and it gets kind of hairy and graphs, and it's just, I don't want to get bogged down in that. But let me show y'all this. So it says, this is how they're going to do the accounting of it. The bonds will be on one side of the tracking the unemployment rate. If it increases, let's see, the bonds will be on the asset side of the Fed's balance sheet. The digital dollars in people's accounts will be on the liability side. Essentially, the Federal Reserve is proposing creating a hybrid digital legal tender, unlike reserves, which are stock within the financial system and which it can deposit directly into U.S. customers' consumer accounts. Okay, it says, and in the stocking punchline then goes on to reveal that legislation has proposed that each American have an account at the Federal Reserve in which digital dollars can be deposited as liabilities. Okay, so it says making the entire traditional banking system obsolete. So all these banker bailouts, all these people getting money, they're taking money going to buy nice houses to live in because they're bankrupting the banking system because it's not going to be there. We're going to have an account set up with the Federal Reserve, and they're going to be able, this article says, they'll be able to track every single purchase that you make. Well, this is tying into this. Okay, this was August 14th, 2020 from Bitcoin.com. Now, please pay attention to this. U.S. Federal Reserve reveals building a digital dollar code base with M.I.T. The United States Central Bank has been working on creating a digital dollar, according to a recently published transcript from the Federal Reserve Board. Okay, on Thursday, she told participants attending the San Francisco Innovative Office Hours webcast that the Fed has been collaborating with researchers at the M.I.T. toward building a CBDC code base. The central bank Cold Wars have begun, and the United States clearly wants to compete with China's upcoming central bank digital currency. Okay, China was talking about this 2 years ago, their digital currency. So now it's heating up to who's going to get it first. Well, this was in August, March, April, May, June, July, August, like 4 or 5 months after the total lockdown, and it was revealed that the Federal Reserve was working with M.I.T. Now, this is what I want y'all to pay attention to, okay? M.I.T. Okay, I put M.I.T. in government intelligence. Okay, M.I.T. works with the United States government. Let me show you this. M.I.T. and C.I.A. This is where the C.I.A. recruits people. M.I.T. From M.I.T. Now let me show you. Let's see. M.I.T. These are all famous people who graduated from M.I.T. Okay? The former Secretary General of the UN, Prime Minister of Israel. It's in Massachusetts. It's a private research university, but it has CIA connections. They graduate people from M.I.T. and then put them in powerful positions, just like Buzz Aldrin, supposedly the very first man that went to the moon. Okay? They use the people that graduate from M.I.T. to perpetrate the lie that they want to bring on Americans. So now the Federal Reserve is working with M.I.T. to build our accounts at the Federal Reserve. That's pretty big. Article number 2, this is out of Marietta, Ohio, from today. Police tase and arrest a woman for refusing to wear a mask at a game. Now, this is a white woman being arrested by a black man, but, you know, the whole world's not going crazy over it. But this mother of a junior high student at an 8th grade football game was tased. They said it went out of control really quick. Non-compliance with state mask mandate during an 8th grade football game at Logan and video recorded resistance resulted in the tasing and arrest of a Marietta City School parent on Wednesday. She looks kind of small. I don't think they had to tase her. My goodness, they could have just gotten her. So, and they did this in front of everybody. Look at the cheerleaders looking. So it went sideways pretty quick. I'll leave y'all the link to that. This is just getting ridiculous, making a mockery of people, making them look criminal. They said all she had to do was comply. All she had to do was comply. It wouldn't have got to there. Article number 3. This is from June 13th. Somebody was asking me the other day, did I think George Soros was really behind all this? I said, it's been in the news. George Soros gave Black Lives Matter and Antifa over $100 million. George Soros has given Black Lives Matter, and this was 3 or 4 months ago, and the Antifa-related revolutionary movement more than $100 million. Okay, there's that code word again, 33. We're seeing this everywhere now. Article number 4, this is from Yahoo News from yesterday. Former Fox News regular Joe diGenova. Why can't these Italian people have easy names like Cajun people's names? Joe diGenova claims network is beholden to George Soros. Longtime ally and former Fox News regular Joe Bon Jovi, I'm just joking, lashed out at conservative-leaning network on Wednesday, claiming Fox News fears George Soros and wondering aloud what the liberal philanthropist has on Fox News CEO Suzanne Scott. Okay, so he just criticizes Fox won't attack George Soros amid the growing backlash from conservatives who felt Newt Gingrich was being silenced from criticizing a right-wing boogeyman. Fox anchor Harris Faulkner later issued an on-air apology. Remember, Newt Gingrich was saying on Fox News that George Soros was behind all the chaos, and it left the Fox News host flabbergasted and didn't know what to say. Well, we know George Soros is behind it. Okay, it's not conspiracy anymore. Okay, this article is from yesterday. 39 states do not have enough money to pay their bills. So we see defaults coming, and we see a debt jubilee coming, a global reset coming, because America's bankrupt. Article number 6, it says, California Governor Gavin Newsom announces ban on all gasoline-powered cars by 2035. So in 15 years, no more selling gas-powered cars in California. Last week saw California plunged into red darkness during the day and raging wildfires, and Governor Newsom decreed that the debate is over around climate change. This is a climate damn emergency. This is real and it is happening. Okay, but I read the other day that most of all these fires started from arson. Did y'all read that? I'll leave a link to it, or go Google it. Wildfires in California started by arsons. I think I read like 6 people have already gotten arrested for starting these fires. So it's not climate change. I have no patience, and I say this lovingly, not as an ideologue, but as someone who prides himself on being open to argument, interested in evidence. Well, you a liar, but I quite literally have no patience for climate change deniers, the governor continued. He said skeptics' point of view is completely inconsistent with the reality on the ground. Go Google that the fires were started by arsonists. He announced that California will be phasing out all gasoline-powered cars by 2035 in a major effort to reduce the state's emissions. What that has to do with climate change, and well, that's another argument. Okay. 3 Iranian power plants will soon be mining Bitcoin. So this is article number 7. 3 power plants in Iran will soon offer their electricity outputs to interested Bitcoin miners. The move comes after a July ruling enabled power plants to legally mine Bitcoin. Iran has turned to Bitcoin mining as a potential source of income amidst broader economic worries. We're going cashless. It's coming. Article number 8. Facebook launches long-promised oversight board before the U.S. election. Facebook is planning to move ahead with the launch of its Supreme Court-style oversight committee, which Senator Josh Hawley has lambasted as Facebook's special censorship committee, according to a report published Thursday morning. Okay, this is from today. So Facebook is going to have a roundtable, superior type, Supreme Court roundtable discussions on who's going to be allowed to post and not post on Facebook and what's acceptable and not. So Mark Zuckerberg has placed himself above the Constitution and your right to free speech. Article number 9. United Air to offer $250 coronavirus test on flights to Hawaii. United Airlines Holdings will offer on-the-spot coronavirus testing to customers flying to Hawaii who are willing to pay an additional $250 to avoid a 2-week quarantine period upon arrival. Now, this is from today. So the carrier hopes the testing regimen can be expanded to help pave the way forward towards reigniting international travel. Okay, so your $250 will get you out of a 2-week quarantine. So this is a money-making racket. We already discussed all that. Now, last night I was watching one of this old movies from 25 years ago, Under Siege Part 2. And in the movie, the weapon in the movie is called a particle beam weapon. And it's like top secret, and a bad guy steals it, and it's on the train on Colorado. And this evil guy is shooting these particle beams at different targets, and he stole it from the U.S. military, the U.S. government, and he wants to blow up the Pentagon. And it shows that this weapon is very precise and that it could even eliminate all of California. Okay, it's precision point accuracy, this particle beam technology. And they're talking about this weapon 25 years ago in this movie, all right? So then you go Google particle weapons technology, and it's a real deal. Particle beam weapon is a weaponized version of this technology. It accelerates charged particles, in most cases electrons. Okay, now look, it developed into directed energy weapons. It says that they were giving up on this. This was in September of last year. And they're pushing more towards directed energy weapons. Okay, this was March of 2019 before they said they were giving up on it. They were still using particle beams. So they show us in the movies what they're doing. And in the movie, it was precision point accuracy, destroying targets. And it said specifically, it showed a map that they could basically perforate California, perforate it off from the rest of the United States and make it go away. So they were showing us 25 years ago the sophistication of these DEW weapons and particle beam weapons, but people like Gavin Newsom want to lie and call it climate change. But just for the heck of it, if y'all are still with me, I'm just going to go ahead and show y'all arsons blamed on fires. Arson arrest on California and Oregon fires. Okay? Now, I read it was 6 the other day. Authorities arrest 4 in connections with arsons. Police, 14 arson identified crimes so far. Okay, so this was a couple of days ago, 10 days ago. 14. 14. This was 4 people arrested for arson. Okay, so it's not climate change, it's new weapons, and it's arson. Y'all please leave me your comments below and let me know what you think. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.